Oh, it's a reassurance. When you develop a relationship with God, it helps you to go along the way. Like his word is a light unto our feet, a light unto our path. So although the road can get, messy, the road can get tough, like you gotta have that reassurance in your mind, know that who God is, and know that what he does it well. So like
Yeah.
don't worry, don't fret because you know him.
Welcome to the Pastor Chira Show. I'm Pastor Chira, and today we launch. We launch into new territory. We launch into new mindset. We launch into new relationship. Are you ready to launch out? Come on and launch out with me as we go into this conversation on today. And y'all know what today is. It is the first Tuesday of the month. And with that, we have what? New artists, new music, and I don't know. He might say he's not so new, but he may be new to you because he has some music that just came out not long ago. And I'm telling you, it is, you know what? No. Y'all know what I do. I go to start talking about stuff and telling y'all about stuff. And then I'm like, why am I going to tell you when I have the artists right here with me so that they can tell you about what they do? So, who is our guest for today? Our guest for today is none other than the DJ Harris. Yes, come on.
Hello,
Give it up, give
hello.
it up, give it up.
Thank you so much for having me on the Pastor Chira Show.
How are you
Hello, world.
today? How are
I'm well.
you?
How are you?
Listen, you know how things go. It is another day in the neighborhood.
Yes. Glad to be in the number one more time.
One more time. Oh, you know I ain't gonna do that.
That's how you know you churchy. You say something real churchy, and then somebody start agreeing, then it just carries on.
Well, here it go. And we got
Stop.
a song for everything, don't we? It's always something.
Exactly. Oh, I
Yes.
am the worst. I start singing everything, anything, at any time, clapping, making noise. My family would be like, "Oh my gosh, all right."
All right. Okay. That's enough.
Mhm. Yeah.
Listen, I am so glad that you are here and you're going to share bits and pieces of you with us on today. But before we get started, can you just introduce yourself to the viewing audience?
Yep. I am DJ Harris. Not started out, but I am from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Started out as a young child singing, and I actually did dance too. We just gonna keep that under wraps though. But I did used to praise dance. I started out singing and grew up at the Open Door Mission True Light Church. And from there, started leading worship with the youth worship team under the direction of Dr. Ken Davis. And from there, I still hold the position as the youth worship leader, but I have grown on to do my own music. So I've been writing for a, a long time,
Oh, wow.
honestly. So it's been a joy to see that music start to progress and start to bless nations. And I'm just excited. I mean, I'm excited for what God is doing and through me with my music. So yeah.
Wow. Open Door, the
Yep.
Bishop Maureen Davis.
Yes. I know
The Bishop.
y'all all say your pastor is the best pastor on the planet, but I have the best pastor on the planet. I need to let you know. I need to let you know.
Listen, there is no one like Bishop Davis. She
Yes,
is amazing. She is an example
yes.
in the kingdom. She is an example to you all, her parishioners, those that are with her and follow her
Yes.
and push her and help her to be the phenomenal leader that she is. And how
Yes.
did you come under her leadership? How did you get there?
Oh, I was born there.
Uh,
As my mom would say, I was born on the pew. I was born there and raised there, and that's still
wow.
my home to this day. So
Wow.
they've seen me grow from a young child in early development and growing into the man that I'm becoming today. So it's a blessing, and it's a blessing as an artist to have a covering, have a pastor who allows you to go out into the world and to witness unto others through ministry, through song, whether it's through preaching, or however,
Hmm.
it's a blessing to have a pastor that really backs you and instills into you the knowledge that can carry on for generations. I love
Be-
it. I love it.
because she is absolutely one who is a pusher, and she's like,
Yes.
don't just stay here. I need you to do what the word says. Go ye therefore, right?
Yes.
And she
Yes.
is
Yes.
one that really ensures that you all go and do what God has placed in you to do. So
Hmm.
when did you know that this was, because you was like, I used to praise dance, but we're not going to talk about that.
No, we're not gonna talk. We're not gonna talk about
So when did you know that this was your niche? This was the place for you.
that. Honestly, I can't say I can pinpoint a certain moment. I know I was always writing songs. Uh, as my family would say, I would write songs here and there and give it to everybody, and they'd be like, "What is this?" And I've kind of grown into what God has called me to do over time. So I can't really say like I've pinpointed a moment and said, "Yeah, this is what I do." I've just continued to walk with God and continue to do what He tells me to do, and it's just
Hmm.
been that ever since. I joined the worship team when I was about 14 years
Okay.
old, and
Okay.
from there, I started leading maybe when I was about maybe about 15,
Oh wow.
and it's just been there ever since. Ever since.
So were you on a choir first, or did you?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Started off on the choir. We had a youth and young adults choir. I was that teenager at that moment where I was like, I don't feel like singing no more, and, and
Hmm.
I had that moment, but then I came to, and then I haven't put it down yet.
Listen,
So,
we
yep,
all have that moment. Like we all go
yes,
through that stage where it's like, do I really want to do this? Like,
mm-hmm,
do I want to be here? Like, I want to be outside. I want to be with my friends. I want to go see, what's going on out there and how, what
right.
everybody else is doing. And so, what really kept you in the church? What kept you really drawn to and in ministry? What kept you?
Definitely relationship with God, just over time. And our worship team, the way we start rehearsal is prayer and worship.
Mm,
We don't start and just go in cold. Like we pray, we intercede, we worship. So that
mm,
helps to keep me grounded, honestly. Helped to keep me grounded. I was a teenager going to high school. So after high school, I had to go to church, go to rehearsal,
mm-hmm.
and we got to pray. We got to intercede. We got to tap in because we're not here to be empty vessels and pour out to people with no substance.
Right,
So we got to receive from God in order to therefore go and be glory carriers. So
right.
that's a big part of who I am,
Yeah, yeah.
that tapping into his presence, interceding on behalf of the people so that we can be glory carriers and be able to minister effectively, going through that process. And that was
Yeah.
every Monday, going through that process of worship, praise, and those moments where we're just receiving from God, even those days where we started tapping in and we didn't even rehearse. Those are moments
Yes.
that
Yes.
to help to create your relationship with God, hearing
Mm-hmm.
from God, and then beginning to just learn more about God and ask questions. Those kind of things help to progress where I was and keep me grounded in God.
Mm.
So it was just inevitable over time.
How has it helped you though as a person? So how has being in church, in ministry, um, the singing and just being a part of. So, outside of how it's helped you with your relationship with God, How has it helped you? Ooh, I'm about to get you. How has it helped you with your relationship with you and building relationship with others?
That's a good question. For starters, I think for one, being in church, you got to deal with people. So
Yes.
that is a process that you just have to learn. As a teenager, sometimes you didn't want to hear stuff from people, especially certain people. You like,
Mm.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. But over time and maturing, you
Yeah.
start to realize, oh, they might be onto something. They might be right. Going through life, hitting those speed bumps and knowing that, oh, they had the wisdom, they had the knowledge. That kind of thing helps to mature your mind, and
Yeah.
therefore, when you go to create relationships, whether it's at your job or whether it's out in the marketplace, you learn from those experiences that you learned in church. I tell my young people all the time, because I am a youth leader at my church. I tell them
Mhm.
all the time, you learn so much at church that you really don't realize it. Once you stop neglecting, you really realize how much you're learning. You learn
Yes.
admin work. You learn how to deal with people skills, communication skills,
Yes.
presentation skills. You learn how to
Yes.
sing. You learn how to dance. You learn how to act if y'all got acting
Yes.
stuff.
Yep.
So all of that helps to mature you, and it adds on to who you are.
Yes.
Everything adds on to who you are, especially if you stay grounded in God and allow yourself to build relationships, build community in your church.
Mm-hmm.
By you can go far. You can go far. I tell them that all the time. I'm like, I learned presentation skills at church. You got to go do a presentation. You keep doing it. You keep doing it. You keep doing it over time. That helps to just it makes you natural.
Yeah.
It makes you
Yeah.
a natural talker. It makes you a natural admin worker, having to deal with communications for the
Mm-hmm.
church. Those
Yep.
kind of things really help to develop you. And hey, put it on your resume if you want to.
Because it counts.
And
Because
hey,
it counts. Like,
hey.
especially when you're like going for, your first job and things like that, and
Hmm.
you don't have any experience to put down. But so the church, listen, the church is your first place where we learn how to do. You are so right. So many things. So, we got to do the Christmas play. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so you learn how to stand up in front of a crowd and
Hmm.
and present yourself and how to talk, and getting just those little things. And all right, you gotta you learn how to count money. You know how the junior deacons and the
Yep.
junior
Yep.
trustees and
Yep.
things like that.
Yep.
So we learned so much. Church was the first place of learning for so many of us, and I am so glad
Yes.
that you, as a youth leader, a youth leader, right? Because you're
Hmm.
still in your youth, right? And
Hmm.
you're still able to let those that are coming up behind you, and that is so key. I'm so glad that you said I was taught, now I'm
Hmm.
teaching and training others. That is so important for us to be able to teach others. Like, we got it, now we got to pass it on,
Right.
because
Right.
that's how
Right.
it continues. That is
Yeah, and I
t-
definitely think that too. Like once you realize you're doing this for Christ and your heart is in it, God continues to open a door for you.
yeah.
He'll open up the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing. You'll step into places that you don't qualify for. You'll step into places that you didn't check all the boxes, but
Yes.
your experience and your favor, God's favor, is not fair, but it's on you because you diligently seek him. You seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and
That's
everything
it.
you need is
That's it.
provided for you. You just got to stay grounded, stay rooted, go through the process. It's tough, but you got to go through the process.
Yes. And life can be tough, and
Yes.
life is a process. And
Mm-hmm.
being in ministry, it really teaches us how to deal with so many different things. It is our foundation. It is, and
Yes,
we
it
need to,
is. It
we
is.
honestly need to get more back into ministry and the church, so
Yes.
that the skills that we have learned, we can continue to pass them on. And you
Mm-hmm.
have gotten a skill of that you are passing on to others, and it is amazing. But we are going to go to a quick commercial break. And on the other side, we're going to talk about that skill, but we're going to talk about what you dropped not long ago. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I need y'all to stay tuned because I need y'all to hear what DJ Harris has put together and God has brought forth. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
There's a river that flows from the throne of God. Yeah. And in the river there's abundant life. Caught in the tides we come alive. We jump in the river, we dance in the river. We go a little deeper, we go a little deeper. Poured out on the Dead Sea to bathe in your glory and dance with the Almighty King. We jump in, we dance in the river.
We dance in the river.
Submerged in the river of
Submerged in the river.
my mind and my soul come
My mind
on.
and my soul come
We jump in the river. We dance.
We're back. And come on and go with me as we go back into this conversation with none other than who? DJ Harris.
Hey.
Listen, did you notice DJ Harris? So you don't DJ, do you? You don't.
No. Nah.
Does it
But I
stand
will
for
take
something?
the aux. I will take the aux. That has been my nickname my entire life. And we were gonna go with my original my birth name, Duran, but DJ just it fits me.
And it's easy. And again, we're talking about music and we're talking about what you do, and DJ just fits. So, even though, it's your nickname, it fits with everything that you do. And you said you've been doing music all this time. And so you have something that dropped not long ago. Can you just tell us about In the River?
Yes, In the River is one of my babies. It's one of my favorites, honestly. I'm not going to be biased to all my other songs, but I'm going to just say In the River is one of my favorites. It is based off the scripture in Ezekiel that talks about the river of the Lord flowing from the temple, that prophecy where Ezekiel sees the river and everything in the river comes to life. Those things that were once dead comes to life. You come out of the Dead Sea, you see that there's fresh living water, and there's just a declaration that everything you need is in the river. There's joy, there's life, there's peace, there's hope. Everything you need is there. So I kind of backtracked where I came up with the song. I was in school. I'm in school now, but I was originally in college, and I was on a little break, and I was just, studying the word, and I was talking to my worship leader and just asking questions like, hey, I'm looking at this, I'm reading this. What is this about? Like, this is kind of what I understand, but, help me understand better. So we had a conversation from there, and the Spirit of the Lord just like gave me the song. Like it just started flowing out of me. I didn't have to go like, wait, what rhymes with this? What? Like it just came right out.
Wow.
Like right out. I wrote it down, and another song actually in that same moment came right to me, and it was literally flowing like water. Like it was so quick. Like that's probably the only time, one of the only times that I've written music like that, where it just flowed instantly. Like I didn't have to think or anything. It just flowed out of me. And I love that song, not only because of that reason, but it's just one of my favorites. The lyrics just touch my soul. Like I can't wait for y'all to hear it, because it is a great song.
Listen, I've heard it. I have heard it, and I'm like, oh, yeah. It's the beat, it's the rhythm, it's the bass, it's everything about it. But the lyrics, I tell people all the time, listen to the words, because the
Yes.
words,
Yeah.
sometimes we get so caught up in the music, but the
Hmm.
words, as you said, are what ministers to us. The
Yes.
words
Yes.
are what speaks to us. And that's why it's so important that, even when we're talking to our young people, we're letting them know, like, some of that music you might not want to listen to,
Yeah.
because it's not giving you the right message for who
Hmm.
you are and where you want to go and how you want to be. And
Yeah.
but in the river, in the river, in the river, it's so much that's in the river, because like you said, the river flows.
Yeah.
And as you
Yes.
were writing, everything just flowed. And it was easy. It wasn't, you
Hmm.
weren't in a storm, but you were just flowing in the river.
Right.
Ah!
Right. Right. It's amazing to think about, but literally, like, it's an anthem to encourage you that everything you need is right there in the
It's right
river,
there.
and the
Yeah.
river represents His presence. Water represents His
Water.
presence,
Mm-hmm.
and where there's His presence, there's fullness of joy,
Joy.
there's freedom, there's liberty, there's grace. Like
Yes.
whatever
Yes.
you need is right there in His presence. So the song even says, "Jump in, like
It does.
jump
Yeah.
in, get up,
Mm-hmm.
get right in His
Yes.
presence."
Yes. Yes.
Like, get what you need from Him. That's what He wants you to do. He bids you to come into His presence, enter into His gates with thanksgiving, and enter into His courts with praise, and be thankful unto Him and bless His name. Enter into His presence with praise, with thanksgiving,
Yes.
and exalt Him. Send Judah first, and in return He descends on us, and
Mm-hmm.
He changes our lives, and He heals us and delivers us and makes us whole. I could go on and on and on, but yeah.
Listen, because this is what we need to hear. And, we hear from those who are older all the time, and no disrespect, but we also need to know that there are young people that are out here that love God and that have an earnest heart and a drive for God. What is next for you? What do you have coming up? You said you had another song that you wrote during that time. So, is this the only thing that you have out that you've
No,
released?
we are working. We are working on some music, but I do have another song out. It is called Spirit Breakout, and let me tell you, it
Mm.
is an anthem invoking the presence of God. And actually, this past weekend, Bishop S.Y. Younger's Assembly One Way Churches just danced to it, and everybody was texting me like, "Oh my gosh, they're singing your song. They're dancing to your song," and I was like, "Wait, what's happening?" I
Are
like
you
rushed downstairs.
serious?
Yes, I was so excited. I rushed downstairs. My niece is like, you're changing my channel." I'm like, "I know, relax." And it is just a blessing. And then two other churches sang it this weekend, and I was just like amazed at what God is
Wow.
doing. So, yep, we have Spirit Breakout, we have In the River, and we have another one that we are working on. So you stay tuned. You stay tuned, and you be connected, because you never know when it's coming.
You never know what's coming and when it's coming. And it is such a blessing to know that the things that, isn't it exciting to know that the things that God has for us, it's like, okay, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to be obedient, and I'm just
Yeah.
going to put it out there. I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know how this is going to work out. And then when you see and when you hear that others are gleaning to the message that God gave you in order to put out there, it's exciting. It's like, oh, He's really using me. He like it really can
Yes.
he's really using me. And that is an awesome feeling to know that you are spreading the word. And I know that your pastor is excited, and I know that she is pushing you, and I know that she is praying for you and covering you. And so when do you know when your project is going to land? Or should we be looking out for this concert that's coming up from you, and so we can all get our tickets and we can be there for your live, for your
Yeah,
live
we're working on
concert.
this song. Yep, we're working on this song, and we're looking to have that done soon and in your hands. So definitely stay connected to me on social media. I am DJ Harris underscore music on social platforms. You can find me there. You can find me there on YouTube as well at DJ Harris Music, and stay connected, because we're working on something and we want to get it out to you soon. So that is our goal and that is our plan to
I'm
move
looking for
forward
the
into this year.
whole project. I want the
I
whole
know,
project
I know.
to come out. I want all 12 of them. Did I say 12? 12. I want all of them.
Yes,
So
yes, I
I could just
understand.
put it in and let it run because I know that anything that God gives you to pen, it is a blessing to
God be the
anyone
glory.
that is able to hear it. I thank you so much for coming and sitting with me and
Thank you, thank
sharing
you.
yourself, sharing your heart, sharing your wisdom, sharing just who you are with the
Thank
people and
you.
letting them know, guess what? It's some young people out here that love God
Yes,
and that are doing what God has for them to do and that they're on fire and no matter what, it's God's way or no way.
yes, yes,
It is
yes.
God's way or no way. I thank you so much. I love you. Listen, I'm here
Thank you so
for it.
much.
I'm staying connected. I don't know about nobody else. I don't know about y'all. I don't know about y'all.
Yes,
But this one right here, I'm staying connected because I know that there is so much more in store from DJ Harris.
yes,
And I
yes,
want you to stay connected as well. I want you to go. I want you to get in the river. I want you to go and I want you to get Spirit Breaker. I want you to go. I want you to hear everything. Stay connected with him because I need you to know that there are young people out here that love God and that are doing the things of the kingdom. Everyone is not out here just wreaking havoc. And there are those that are teaching others how to live a God filled life so that they can then teach others how to live a God filled life. Listen, it's not that bad. Being in church, being in ministry, it's a great thing. It gives us our foundation, it helps us to build up our skills and our knowledge, just like you said. So come on, find a ministry to be a part of. I need you to find somewhere close that you can go and you can be a part of so that you can start to learn and you can start to glean and you can receive all that God has for you so that you can then pass it on to others so that the kingdom can grow and continue to grow day by day. I'm Pastor Chira. This is the Pastor Chira Show, and I'll see you next week. God bless.